Spring isn't quite in the air. There are fragrant plants beloved by gardeners this time of year. Here to teach us about Daphne is our good pal, Ciscoe Morris. Hello, how are you? Come
Just
over here so we
great.
can see you. We're
Oh,
hidden
yeah.
by the Daphnes. So, I feel really bad. I did not know these were called Daphnes.
Yeah, and I think almost anyone who's ever smelled one considers them the queen of the fragrant plants.
It smells super good. So they're obviously different kinds. Why do gardeners like these so much?
Well, you know, I think the #1 reason is because they are so incredibly fragrant. With a fragrance unlike any other, you know, you smell this guy, you just can't believe it. And
it's just so fresh.
And you know what's interesting? This is not a true Daphne, but it's in the same family. And it's called Edgeworthia chrysantha, or the money plant, because they make Japanese yen out of the stem, out of the bark.
Wow. So
and
can we
smell
counterfeit
that
yen if we
smell
plant
that
this?
flower. Oh man, I'll tell you what, you know.
We'll work on that for our next segment.
So fragrant, and this thing's about 8 feet tall there. But
wow.
And the interesting things is that each one has different hardiness.
That's an important thing to know. So
That's
let's
really
talk through
important.
those, because that frustrates some people, right? If you get one
Oh
of these
yeah,
and then they're
if you
hard
get one
to grow.
that's not that hardy, and you know, I always tell people plant these regular Daphnes in morning sun, because if they're in full sun, if you get real cold weather, they tend to drop their leaves off. Maybe not this one. This is Orido Nashiki.
Is this the toughest one?
This is the toughest, yeah. And this was from my house. I cut that off this morning, you know.
That's a wonderful one.
And it's just a full bloom. And you know who loves these? The winter hummingbirds.
Oh, yeah?
Diana's hummingbirds can't leave these alone.
Oh, and you know
they're
how much
on
I love
that.
the hummingbirds.
And this
What about this one? This is so
the coolest
pretty.
plant I've ever seen in my life. I got so excited. Swanson's loaned me these, and I so much appreciate it. Then I saw this. I'm like, what is that?
What is
It's
it?
Daphne genkwa. I've read about it. I've never seen one before.
Now, is this hardy enough for our weather?
This is super hardy.
Really?
Yeah, but it has to have really well-drained soil. It wants full sun, as much heat as you could give it.
Okay.
No fragrance. So I thought, I wonder if hummingbirds like it. I was sitting in my driveway. A little hummingbird came started hitting
So
the
this one
flowers.
doesn't smell as good as the others, right?
No, there's no fragrance. I can't find any. Some people say it's got just a real gentle fragrance, but I haven't
And does it
noticed
stay like this all the time?
Yeah, I think it might get a little wider over time, you know. But other than that, I think, and it'll get about 4 feet tall. Isn't
Really?
that cool?
That is really cool, and that would
it's-
look so good with lots of other things.
Yeah.
How big? That one gets about 4 feet tall. What
4
about the
feet.
others? Do they?
Okay, most of these, you know, they're only supposed to get about 3 by 3, but I've seen them 5 by 5. And, you know, you want to plant these right in your doorway, because if you do, then people that come to the door, they're just like walking like this when they walk in the
Smells
door,
so
you know.
good. What do
So-
we need to do to keep them healthy? You said morning sun for most of them,
Yep.
except for that one. Drainage,
really
good
well
drainage.
drained soil, and you don't. Once they're established, you never water them. These things live on the side of cliffs in China, so they
Seriously?
get water, but it goes shooting by. Most of us murder them by overwatering them.
Okay, so just leave them alone once
Yep,
they're established.
yep.
If they drop their leaves, can you bring them back, or is
Yeah,
that
they
it?
actually usually come back pretty good, and people think you can't prune them. You can prune the living tweedle out of these things.
Okay.
So you know, here's a good example of one, and you know, so what you normally want to do is just prune down to a lower branch like that. But you know what? If you're desperate, anywhere you want, because you know, when you look at this, anywhere there's a leaf, there's a bud
that
that'll
hurt
start
me.
a new branch. I know, but it hurt him more
Yeah,
than me.
well, I know. You missed my thumb. That was good. That
That's
really would have
really
hurt.
good,
But
yeah.
just go get in there and prune them, huh?
But you know what the worst part about these? First of all, if you buy one and you plant it, if it starts going downhill, forget it. You can't grow a Daphne, not in that spot. It's
Okay.
going to die. You can move it, but it's too late. But you know what's the worst part? None of them live more than 20 years. It's really rare they do. And they always die the day you have a really important tour coming to your garden.
Yes, have you found that to
Have
be
the
the case?
American Horticultural Society
should
come
have,
to
like,
my garden. There it is, dead as a doornail.
You should have like some ringer plants in your garage that you could bring out. Now, if we cut these things off, can you grow roots and replant them, or is that not?
I don't think they're very easy to do that too.
Okay.
But you know what you could do? You could take a lower branch like this and
stick
bury
it
this part underground, leave this sticking up, take these leaves off, put a rock on top so it's underground. Within a year, that'll root. You got yourself a brand new Daphne odora.
Thank you, Ciscoe.
Oh, la, la.
I like it. Still ahead, from the new film Love, Simon, Seattle native Nick Robinson, Alexander Shipp, and director Greg Berlanti join us with a preview back after this.